The Alpha 1 Lightwave Amp, your solution for the need for better audio for early model BMWs with Harman Kardon, Hi-Fi Professional DSP, and individual audio. And that is exactly what this E89 Z4 needs for a complete audio refresh. For years now, BMW owners have either been stuck with their weak Harman Kardon amps or have to piece together random audio equipment and hope for the best. Well, also for years now, you've seen us install our Alpha 1 Lightwave amp in plenty of early model BMWs with Harman Kardon, and today we'll be showing you on one more, the E89 Z4.
While you need to double check your VIN for compatibility, if you have one of these sound systems, this amp is for you. Harman Kardon, Hi-Fi Professional DSP, and individual audio are all powered by a variation of Harman Kardon's 9-channel OEM amplifier with an optical input, and our Lightwave amp is designed specifically for these systems. The Lightwave has a total output of 2,300 watts max, which is nearly 4 times as much as the 600-watt stock Harman Kardon amplifier. It features 9 speaker-level output channels, including one 400-watt RMS channel that normally powers the center channel, but can also be used to power a passive trunk sub instead. It also has a 10th DSP-controlled RCA pre-out, perfect for our SUB10 trunk sub if you want to keep the center channel running while still having an active trunk sub.
You have full control over all the settings on the amp for complete tuning and customization, but you also retain all the control in your iDrive for quick changes on the fly. You can also change between 2 DSP tuning files simply by switching the Logic 7 or surround switch on or off in your iDrive. And like all of our amps, the Lightwave amp comes custom tuned for your ears, your music, and your specific BMW.
For a full list of all the features, head on over to our website, link in the description. Also, head on over there to make sure this amp is compatible with your BMW. To install this yourself, you'll be able to get the job done with our DIY Essentials Kit and Trim Toolkit. If you don't feel comfortable doing this yourself, that's fine too. You can find one of our certified installers near you on our website. We have them in about 30 countries around the world. And don't forget that if you're near Orlando, Florida area, stop on by and we can do it for you.
With all of that out of the way, let's get to the installation on this E89 Z4. Jarrett, take it away.
The first thing you need to do before dealing with anything electronic is to disconnect the battery. Start by opening your trunk and removing any floor mat you may have, as well as the floor panel. Next, use a 10mm socket to remove the negative battery terminal and set it aside. You may want to tie a towel around the trunk latch to prevent yourself from being locked out if it closes. To get to the amp's location, use a trim tool to remove these 2 fasteners and remove the panel. We now need to remove this rear panel. Use a trim tool to remove the 4 fasteners across the top. Once they're all out, grab the panel from the bottom and pull it out. Pinching in one of the sides will help with the removal. Now we can remove the factory amp. Start by removing the 4 10mm nuts holding the amp bracket to the car. Pull the amp free and remove and pop free the wiring harness from the bracket. You can also kick your lights. Remove the 2 smaller connectors by pinching in the center tabs and pulling them out. For the larger slide lock connector, slide the locking slide to the side to pull the connector free. These are always notoriously tight, so wedging in a trim tool for assistance can help. Next is to transfer the Alpha 1 Lightwave amp onto the factory bracket, so remove the 8mm bolt holding the factory amp to the bracket. Once out, push the amp off. It will be tight. Grab the Lightwave amp and slide it onto the bracket like so. Replace the 8mm nut. Jarrett opted to plug the USB cable in while here, but you can do that later too. Before installing the amp, we need to relocate the fiber optic cable. With a pick tool, gently push out the tab that locks the green fiber optic cable in place and pull them free. Snap the green fiber cables into the supplied Alpha 1 connector. After that's done, plug the main Lightwave harness into the factory connector. Make sure the locking slide is all the way out on the factory connector, push the Lightwave connector into position, and squeeze the locking slide to pull the connector down the rest of the way. It's very tight. To install the amp itself, place the assembled unit back onto the studs and replace both of the top 10mm nuts and the bottom right 10mm nut. The bottom left will be omitted for this installation. Once secure, plug in the main connector by seating the connector in place and rotating the locking lever to lock it into place. You can also do this before you put the amp in place. Plug the fiber cable into the top like so. Technically, that's it beyond the power and ground cable, but there is a mess of cables. How you choose to tidy them up can be anything from a factory appearance like Jared's doing, or placing the rear panel back on and forgetting it existed. He does disconnect and reconnect things a few times to get extra slack and whatnot, but all of this is technically subjective, so enjoy. After all of that is done, let's run the power. Jared decided to start by securing the power and ground cable together about halfway down the run, but you don't need to do this until you figure out how much length you need. Once you're ready, plug the black connector for the ground cable into the left connection point and the red power cable to the one on the right. To make things easier to run the cables, let's remove this side panel. Start by removing this fastener up front. Next, these two fasteners here. Pop off this plastic piece here. Lift up this panel slightly. Finally, pull off this plastic piece here. You can then pull away the trim panel, but make sure you remove the emergency fuel door pull. To start running the cables, use a pick or trim tool to pop open these cable run doors. Jared also peeled back this factory tape. Run the power, ground, and USB cable through the runs. Snap the doors back down. And Jared even reused the factory tape that was still sticky after 16 years. You'll follow these main power cables, so feed the cables under this loom here. Keep feeding the cables down, using cable ties to secure them along the way. Now let's hook up the cables. With a 13mm socket, remove the bolt on this positive terminal location. Slide the bolt through the ring terminal on the lightwave power cable and secure everything back down. You might want to use some double-sided tape to secure the fuse to prevent it from moving around. Jared did have to move this back a little since the side panel trim has a protrusion that sticks out in this area. Finally, use a cable tie to tidy up the extra slack in the cable. For the negative cable, remove this 13mm nut here, and then slide the ring terminal from the Lightwave's negative cable over the stud. Tighten the nut back down. Tidy up all of the extra slack with the cable tie. The USB cable can be left neatly in this area. At this point, the installation is done, so you can reconnect the negative battery terminal to begin reassembly. Slide the emergency fuel door pull back into the side trim panel and push the panel back in place. Snap this top panel back down. Replace the fasteners. snap this plastic piece back in. And this one too, sliding it in from the top first. For the rear panel, pinch in the sides to pop it into place. Replace the 4 fasteners, which might be easy to do after pulling this cover down. Replace the rear floor panel trim and the 2 fasteners. Finally, replace the front floor panel and any mat you may have. Close the trunk and you're done.
So there you have it. That's how you install an Alpha 1 Lightwave amp in your E89 Z4. And of course, for the best listening experience, you're going to want to pair these with a set of Alpha 1 speakers as well. Want one of these for your E89 Z4? Head on over to our site and into your VIN to find the right kit for your ride. Have any more questions about the amp? You can reach out to our sales team via chat on our site or by calling. Already have the amp and have questions about the install or anything else? You can reach out to our support team with your order number and they will be eager to assist. But as always, for more tips and tricks, product reviews, and so much more for BMWs, Mini Supers, and Teslas, make sure you subscribe and don't forget to ring that bell. Want to know what's happening first? Head on over to our site and sign up for our newsletter. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as well. Thanks for watching.